ਇਹ ਨਸਲ ਹੈ ਸਿਵ ਸੈਨਾ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਹੇਟ ਸਪੀਚ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ। ਦਰਬਾਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਮਲਾ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਫਿਰ ਇਹ ਕਿੱਡੀ ਸੰਗੀਨ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ KPS ਗਿੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਬੁੱਚੜ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ।
Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Headlines, the show where we talk about matters pertaining to India's internal security and also global matters to somehow which are connected to India. And joining me again on this show is our senior correspondent Vicky Nanjapa. Vicky, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Akash. Thank you so much.
So, Vicky, like we were discussing earlier also, so there is a new kind of a menace that is now cropping up again in Punjab, and his name is Amritpal Singh. Now, Oneindia had an exclusive interview with him where he talked about a lot of factors that are influencing Punjab at the current time and space, and what he talked about are very controversial things. One was that he is blaming the center government about the mistreatment or the law and order situation there in Punjab, and also he has called KPS Gill, who has been considered as one of the man responsible to root out the anti-India elements there who were there in Punjab in the 1980s and the 90s, and has said that he is kind of the butcher of Punjab is what he has claimed. So first of all, I want to get your views across as far as you have been dealing with India's internal security, the matters of internal security. How do you view a person like Amritpal Singh and where he is sitting right now? He is in Punjab, one of the most vulnerable states when it comes to India, because it has a border with Pakistan also, and we know that how ISI has been trying to influence this Khalistani statement there in Punjab. So how do you first of all view Amritpal Singh?
See, number one point, Akash, the thing is, the way he's talking, I mean, he looks like a very clear plant of the ISI out there, one. The thing is, they've been trying a lot of things in the recent past, Pakistan, that is one. They're trying through foreign channels, like in Canada with the Sikhs for Justice, one. Okay, now what is basically happening is, ideally, they would have wanted something like, violence in Punjab, bomb blasts, they did manage to, do it to a small extent, like, the Ludhiana blast which happened and, those kind of things. But what is happening with these people is that the ideology is not catching on. Okay, one thing. And that is where, for the ISI, a guy like Amritpal Singh comes and fits the bill. Okay, one. And if you see, one thing is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he hails from Bindranwale's village. Okay, I was given to understand that he dresses like Bindranwale. Okay, one. Because Bindranwale did manage to get a lot of traction. Now, every copy that we write is that, Khalistani is trying to raise their ugly head in Punjab, but it is not catching on with the Sikh population out there. Okay, one. Because I think at least the Sikhs who've been there, through the 80s and 90s and things like that, they know the kind of violence that has happened in the kind of this one. And what does he mean by butcher, basically? I mean, I don't know. The thing is, according to me, these are the same lot of people who killed a chief minister out there, Behind Singh, one thing. Okay, it's not justified at all. That is one thing. So basically, this person, Amritpal Singh, is the one who has been placed there, to come and put in the ideology, and, try and, this one, what is that, brainwash the youth. That's what he's saying. But trust me, Akash, he's not managed to catch that kind of traction, and they're going to find it extremely difficult to do that, because, at the end of it, even the public are not fools to, fall for this kind of, ideology which comes, because everyone wants peace at the end of it.
Very true, Vicky. But if we go back, to the 80s and the 90s, and the rise of Bhindranwale there in Punjab during that time, and to a lot of credit was given the rise to the rise of Bhindranwale to the Congress Party. Many have said that Bhindranwale was first used by the Congress party of the center and also in the state. And then, when his power grew too much in Punjab to handle, then we all remember the infamous Operation Blue Star at the Golden Temple in Amritsar. So, do you think that the BJP government at the center, now they are not paying too much of heed to this character as of now in Punjab? So, do you feel that they might be stepping or they might be walking the same path, the same kind of a mistake? Because the sentiment of Bhindrewala is still very much popular there in Punjab, and out comes a man who talks like him, who has, who dresses like him, who has an entourage just like him, and could be one of the major factor who can influence the youth there in Punjab to reverse into that psychology of Bhindrewala, and could lead to a lot of unrest in Punjab. So don't you think that this for this character to gain whatever traction he is, to stop him here and now rather than let him grow and then become a bigger problem for the integrity of the country?
No. I don't see that exactly happening with him, because you know what? I think the politics of the 80s and the politics of the 2000s is actually very, very different. That is one. See, even if the Congress did try to create a Bindranwale, that is basically to keep the Shiromani Akali Dal under check. That is one. Okay. What I see is that I don't think it is in such a scenario that you can create one kind of a cult figure out there, and this one, because it is a little difficult to fool the people now. Okay, that is one thing. Because, and one thing I want to tell you, Akash, the thing is about this rise of this Khalistan movement, which has been happening. They're trying. It's been happening for almost 10 to 15 years. This ISI has nurtured all these, these Khalistanis. They're there in Pakistan and things. They've been trying. I don't think, the current government, which has got a zero tolerance policy, would indulge in something like this, to serve political goals. That is not what they would do. And even if ISI has put in a character like that out there, that is one. I don't think it is going to catch traction, because I think the people have become much more smarter today. One thing. I'm sure that this is not this kind of an ideology. See, it's been happening a lot. A comrade was murdered, and the small things which are happening here, this crimes which are happening, which have been planned in Italy, Canada, and all that. It's not happening now. I see this as more of a desperate move on part of this ISI, basically desperate move to put someone there so that he's able to spread his ideology out there. But it's not happening, because Punjab's bigger problem is fighting drugs. I don't think they have time for this.
Right, and you very aptly put that the Punjab biggest problem is drugs. But another problem, that we have also talked on this show and extensively on our channel also, is the problem of Khalistani elements still to some extent operating there in Punjab. And what is happening there out in the West, we have seen the Canada referendum by Panun, and then of course another referendum that has been said that will be taking place in January in Australia now. So how do we witness this thing? Can we see all of these things as a propaganda to push the Khalistani mindset once again into Punjab, with also the cases of a lot of Beadbi being happening there in Punjab in the recent years, and even Amritpal Singh in the exclusive interview with Oneindia has also raised this question, that why the government has been ineffective to control these kind of incidents. So how do you see this thing, that all these things could culminate into a bigger problem?
So what is happening is, this is this typical thing, go all across the West, in these English-speaking countries, you drum up something, something like that. Tell me one thing, other than the drugs problem, what exactly is the problem in Punjab? Actually, that is one. I think the law and order has been handled very well, at least in the past couple of years, that is one thing. No, the problem is, what the issue is, it is a desperate attempt that on and on and on they're, going on, trying to see, Akash, if the youth in Punjab pick up that trend, that, they get attracted towards it. Yes, then it is a problem. Currently, what I'm saying is that the youth is not falling for this. Okay, they are not falling for this. Issue is more about jobs and livelihood and those kind of things. Because had the youth, and in the sense, like what I'm saying is that in the case of this Islamic State, if you look at it, it picked traction because the youth picked up that cause. One thing. If you see guys like Mohammad Sharik or Jamisha Mubin and things like that, they're all in their 20s. Okay. Because these are the guys who can make the change. And it is clearly not happening in Punjab. And what is the big cause actually? A separate nation? I don't think they want a separate nation. The youth do not want a separate nation out there. So that is, one part of it. I mean, they'll keep trying. We just need to keep our borders secure. One, we need to keep our borders secure. And I don't know what the thing is. We have such brave people from Punjab who are there in our Indian army. Great hockey players. All these real nationalists, real patriots and things. I don't think these kind of people can come and mess with it out there or something like that. So let's put it that way. That guys like Amritpal Singh or say for that Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, they are more desperate people there. They keep trying because they're getting money to do it. Pannu is not doing it because of a cause. He's doing it because he's getting money from the ISL. So this is one thing. Now put one Pannu, put one Amritpal Singh, and then keep all these other guys outside. That's propaganda. It's all money. That's a problem. That's why it's not catching on.
Right. So can we assume it like people like Amritpal Singh who are like dressing up like Bhindrewala, talking like him, though he has not as of yet not directly said anything about the establishment of Khalistan, but the mindset always moves towards that when a radical leader like him comes to power and get a lot of traction from on the ground. So then they feel like, okay, this is one thing that we need to go to. So can we safely say that can we safely assume this thing that in the coming years Indian intelligence and the security forces are 100% able to deal with a menace like Amritpal Singh, and also we won't be able to see, God forbid, will be able to see anything that what like happened Operation Blue Star in Amritsar.
Correct. I mean, I don't see that happening now, Akash. Just to refresh, one thing. Actually, before Operation Blue Star happened, then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, actually, she had sent a couple of Sikhs, who were very close to her. See, there was one guy who came out and he actually broke down. I mean, I have known this person, not through a friend. This one he told. The thing is, what was happening within Golden Temple was they found drugs out there at the end of it. That is what Bindranwale was promoting at the end of it. Okay, that is one. So I think everybody's got to know it's such a sacred place, Golden Temple. One thing, if the Sikhs who revere it so much get to know what actually is going on there, I am sure they are not going to support it. And another thing, I mean, honestly, dressing like Bindranwale or talking like him, or that's not what is going to change anything of that sort. Then all of us can just dress with like someone, like your hero, you can dress like my hero, I can dress like, okay, and then we become that. It's not happening. The thing is, actually, honestly speaking, whatever he has tried to do, there's no this one. But I would also, take a word of caution to say that, let's not just, write him off. Okay, one thing. Let's keep a watch on him. That is one thing. Because the problem is not the violence. The problem is the ideology, which happens. And the ideology always, starts catching on among the youth out there. Since for Justice has been there. There are so many people from Canada and all that controlling everything. I don't think they managed to get any traction per se. Here and there, small violence has happened. But I think our Indian agencies are pretty much capable of keeping a tab on them and not letting this problem grow there. The thing is, it's for the government in Punjab to think now how they're supposed to handle it. They can't sleep over it. That is one thing.
Exactly. So now the onus lies to the Punjab government, the AAP government there to take onus and not let this character grow out of hand, so that he can misuse the power that he might wield if given that he grows to a size like Bhindrewala. Well, thank you very much, Vicky, on that note, for coming on beyond the headlines and sharing your sharing your thoughts about what is happening in Punjab, and of course we'll keep our discussions on about what is happening in Canada, what is going to happen in Canberra, in Australia in January regarding Khalistan, and also other matters related to India's internal security and matters of geopolitics that affects India's internal security. Well, on that note, thank you very much, Vicky, for joining me on Beyond the Headline.
Thank you, Akash. Always a pleasure.
ਇਹ ਨਸਲ ਹੈ ਸ਼ਿਵ ਸੈਨਾ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਹੇਟ ਸਪੀਚ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ। ਦਰਬਾਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਮਲਾ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਫਿਰ। ਇਹ ਕਿੱਡੀ ਸੰਗੀਨ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ KPS ਗਿੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਬੁੱਚੜ ਗਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ।